got ourselves team 1 together with Howie Death as Unholy DK. We got ourselves IXQ as Survival Hunter. Ooh. What is the set? What are all these shoulders? Now I get a better look at them. They look good. What set is that from? We got ourselves KYB as a Shadow Priest. We got ourselves Mayu as a Feral, as well as Taxi the Afro Warlock versus Team 2. We got ourselves Anto on that team. Cries Bad. We got Fragment X as another Destro Warlock. We have ourselves G-Funk Survival Hunter, as well as Kajix as a Rogue. Good luck and fun, everybody. Who's going to be first? Who's going to last on these duels? It looks like it's going to be Mayu and G-Funk in the opener. Both a Necrolord. Actually, no, both are not Necrolord. G-Funk went back to Venthyr, actually. Is no longer a Necrolord. Mayu just got himself a really aggressive opener. Big old charge by G-Funk, but it's still having to blast through that Fleshcraft shield in the opener from Mayu. It is pretty rough to deal with. Try to see if you can interrupt Mayu. That's going to be actually interrupt by Mayu instead. As G-Funk tried to go for a bit of a disorient effect, which he will be able to combo into a freezing trap, won't he? Because that disorient effect is a blind, essentially, like a short blind. So you can actually get yourself a little bit of a CC to like interrupt the Ferals go. Freezing trap into Mayu, actually having G-Funk break it as he went for a Raptor Strike as Mayu charged in. A G-Funk forced to go into Turtle Shell, trying to go for a bit of a reset. Is his pet dead? G-Funk tried to get himself a camel, but the swarm is already midway through. Try to see. Oh no, the pet is not dead. The pet is still alive. Opener stun onto G-Funk. The big bites coming through, and I think it could be over. Does G-Funk get any more healing? Needs himself a many bandage, but looks like Mayu capping him off with a Moonfire at the end. Super unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate, boys. Mayu, they're trying to see if he can avoid the Cataclysm, is going to be able to get himself a re-stealth. Rain of Fire, I don't know if that actually caught him out of stealth, as he did get himself a stun into Kreisbad. Fear in the opener for Kreiser after the Feral gets that go. And Mayu actually got himself perfect line of sight, dude. Wow. That is so perfect. He's just gonna leap. I don't think he even got hit by that Bonza Fell. Big damage onto Kreisbad, rotting the boy down. Speaking about Soul Rot getting set up by Kreisbad. Is trying to maybe go for a stun around the corner to Mayu. Does interrupt him on the heal, as he's in bear from trying to play this defensively. Big Shackles on Malediction should actually prevent a lot of the healing Mayu has. Swiftman is gonna help him recover through a lot of that dampened heal. Or necrotic out heal. Big Caswell getting set up as Mayu's just gonna have to take the blast to the face while in bear from drinking side of it. Actually, did he even use any defensive after he trinketed? Might have been a friends of regen. No, actually, no. He's not even friends of regen. I think we just tried to stay in bear form as best as he could. Kreisbad tried to see if he could catch up to Mayu, porting in front of him with a Bonza Fell. And that's going to be another Caswell smacking him. This fella has made how many Caswell so far? And he's still trucking, getting interrupted on a regrowth. So it's going to be some healing denial. But looks like Mayu got himself quite a bit of recovery, and he's doing A-okay for now. Big port for Kreisbad, just trying to see if he can port away from Mayu. Gonna be a restyle by the Feral. The dots are gonna get him out there in the open though. He's just trying to dispel from himself, I guess, the curse effect. Bash by Kreisbad is gonna be a trinket out of the Warlock as Mayu got himself a regrowth rolling. And should be able to recover a little bit of health behind the pillar. As Bonzafeld trying to get set up, does Mayu get clip bite? He does. It's gonna be in bear form, just trips it and goes in cat form as soon as he's over with it. Mortal Call sent as the Feral was mid-air leaping in, meeting the Mortal Call as well as a fear from Kreisbad. Big Caswell getting set up as the dots are in. And Mayu taking lots of damage though. Could be really bad for him. Getting a short stun into Kreisbad. Trying to go for as much health recovery as he can. Bear form is up and running. Shadow Fear around the corner. Does stun Mayu. That's going to be Cataclysm. Mayu still critical low health. That's going to try to get himself a bit of a heal. Swiftman getting used in order to heal himself. Does he have the interrupt? Does interrupt the last second. Oh, and Kreisbad taken down. The unstoppable Necrolord Feral, just making it painful for him. Mayu played that one super well though, all things considered. He played that one really, really well. That was a lot of damage. I mean, you know, boys, yo, you're good, Says. You're good, my guy. Don't worry about it, dude. A Saturday RNA? Nah, dude. Today's Friday, but dude, Saturday's tomorrow. It's all good. It's all good. Been there, done that, dude. This week has been crazy for me, too. Big horror explosions onto Kreis, but it's going to break out of it the last second and then port away from Kib. Hitting him with a Mortal Coil as Kib goes in for a Greater Fate. Actually, just immune to all casts while he's Greater Fated. Big old port trying to see if he can catch up to Kreisbad. That's going to be Kreisbad going for a bit of a drain from the Siphon while it was up for all of 2 seconds. Bonzafell is up with the Kib, trying to make some damage happen versus Kreisbad. Just flaying him down, dude. Does he have the auto-town to get haste from people that he's flaying? It might be, right? Did it shadow melt that, by the way? Big shadow mend by Kib. Did it shadow melt the Bonzafell? It might have. Big Casbell getting set up by Kreisbet though. Smacking Kib down with a stun right after. Cataclysm to follow. Kib playing it very defensive with the disperse. Looking to recover that sweet health recovery over time. Big reflect up for Kreisbet. Not getting stunned up or not reflecting the stun back to Kib. And Kib is still in a really, really rough spot. As he's super low on health. With an Infernal, keeping him warm. Interrupted by the pet. Could be really bad for him right now. Needs a recovery. Needs a heal. Gonna be Bonzafell around the corner. Needs himself a Shadow Mend. Is gonna get a Shadow Mend. 2 at least. And Kreisbet making sure to poke out and just get whatever instance he's got at Kib. Just to punish him while he's behind the pillar. Although Kib, as a Shadow Priest, did recover a lot of health. Big Door of Shadows up. Versus Kreisbet. Porting on top of him with a shield. That's going to be a little bit of a shadow crash around the ledge. Where's the pet actually for Kreisbet? Oh, it's kind of sitting out in the open. It's not really moving up towards Kib, but it's sitting out in the open. Mind games interrupted immediately. Kib having to play this very little bit defensively now with the shadow locked out. He's going to walk out of the Bonzafell very, very early on. Fury into Kreisbet. As the Mind Games does come out with full Void Eruption while Kreisbet is silenced. Does he get hit by the horrors? One horror effect hit. Does the second one hit? No, it's going to be a port as he gets out of those horrors in between. And Kib tried to see if he can max out whatever damage he had. Big DPs need to come out. And that's going to be a Mortal Coil onto Kib, running him away in the fear in the other direction. As Kreisbet finally gets himself the Cataclysm Soul Rot setup, letting those dots burn at Kib. Letting them burn. Letting fire burn away the shadow. Kib just going to walk out of the Bonzafell with a greater fade, which is massive for him. Stun to Kreisbet. Does Kreisbet have an interrupt? Looks like he does have an interrupt right now. Kib being very careful not to get interrupted through a pet. Could actually create some line of sight, avoiding the pet completely as Kreisbet just had the pet kind of on a standby in the corner. If only the pet was following Kib, he would have been able to definitely interrupt that heal. Might have even been able to get a bit of advantage too. As Kib recovery is going to be pretty insane right now. Trying to see if he can hit him with the Cataclysm around the corner. Kib hitting him with a Mind Flay, building up a few resources while he's got him. Reflect is up, and I wonder how many abilities did Kib reflect back to himself, like DP, maybe VT, and everything. Mortal Coil into actually Fear instead onto Kib. Big old Bonzo fell with a Casbell. For Kib, this could be really bad. Great fading out of here, just walking out of it. That's going to be a massive Shadow Mend to recover. If only Kreisbet sent the pet over there where Kib could be in order to stun him down. Actually stunning an extra pet on him as well. Kib, though, still playing the game, man. He's still in there. He's not out of the game just yet. Just maintaining the pressure versus Kreisbet. They're having a little bit of a poke fest at each other, just poking each other with the different spells. That's going to be a Shadow Fiend banished by Kreisbet, so no extra resources and extra freebie physical damage by Kib. As those auto attacks, but the Shadow Fiend is actually a considerable amount of damage. And Kib looks like he's actually going to be able to get himself a bit of a reset behind the pillar. Just not really getting super aggressive with Kreisbet, just kind of waiting it out. Maybe he's just trying to bait some kind of cooldowns out of Kreisbet. It might be what he's trying to do. Maybe he's just waiting for the PI. Maybe he's just trying to kind of prolong the game until he gets the PI for the big burst and everything. Because he got himself the full Void Eruption. There's going to be a stun to Kreisbet. Fury onto the pet. Silence to Kreisbet. Going to be a horror effect on the whole team. Super unfortunate the team is getting horrid. But he's just trying to chase after Kreisbet. He can't help it. Reflect is up. Does that actually reflect back into Kib? I think it actually did reflect back into Kib. That's a perfectly timed reflect by Kreisbet. Trinket for it too. Getting some damage rolling with a Fear. Chaos Bolt setting up. Is Kib gonna have to go for a disperse here? Could be potentially bad situation. Is gonna give himself a bit of a heal. Shadow Mend is up. But it looks like Kreisbet just walks up and smites him out of there. Just a big old Conflagrate or a Shadow Burn or something. Kib could have went for a disperse there too. Had PI ready and everything. But super unfortunate. I think he was just, you know what? I'm alright. I'm healthy. I got this big heal coming up. And Kreisbet just walked up to him and just smacked him down. Oh no, super unfortunate, dude. And Kreisbet now got to deal with a Death Knight. Where's your pet? Actually, there he is. The pet, I think, is trying to catch up back to Howie. That pet's so slow. Gonna be A-Bomb joining the fight. That's how we're trying to get the pets rolling. Gonna be a port for Kreisbet, though, avoiding a lot of the burst damage out of Howie, who's forced to just traverse across the arena. Trying to get himself the extra grippy hand. That thing is slapping around, but it's not going to grip anybody. It's like this Kreisbet got himself to the line of sight. Trying to finally create some... trying to get a line of sight Kreisbet. Finally get him gripped in, but that's going to be more CC set up by Kreisbet with an Infernal. as the Abomination is out of the picture. How he does IBF himself out of that, out of the stun, really. I'm actually surprised. Silence on Kreisbed, get himself full pets up and running, shackles him addiction, letting that thing tick out. I think it's gonna be really bad for Kreisbed, trying to see if he can move away from it. Just needs a couple more globals in a Kreisbed. Could be really bad for this Warlock. Cannot heal right now. How just needs a global or two with the guy. He just needs a global. How is still trucking along. The suck him is slowing him down. Kreisbed recovering a little bit of health though. I'm not really sure what healed him. Maybe just the damage. Maybe just him being able to do some damage did it. Mortal Call available for Kreisbed very, very soon. As he's just gonna catch Howie behind the pillar with some traps. Mortal Call is back up, could use it. Is gonna use it for the heal, but also as a CC utility to chain into the fear. Full flesh cut is up for a Howie, so Kreisbed is gonna have to burn through it for quite a bit. But looks like that thing did not last long at all though. So Kreisbed maybe got just enough damage. Did activate Dark Soul's ability. One Cannonball flying in. Second Cannonball as Howie actually has no health at all. Death Pact that's completely necrotic out. Pulling the pet back so Howie can't even get death strikes off the pet too much. That's going to be his main pet being empowered. I think Bonzafell is just dead. If he walks out of it, it's over. And down he goes. Walking out of the Bonzafell, at that point you should just stood where you were. Find some line of sight away from Kreisbed and try to avoid him as best you can, because that's about all you can do. Tagsy up next versus Kreisbed. Interesting. Interesting. I would have tried sub, but I heard it's not as hard. Well, it's not as hard as dueling against Kreisbed, I can tell you right now. And it looks like Kreisbed and Tagsy are going to give each other a bit of an auto duel. Both of them getting a bit of a setup, too. Each one has a box, a set of boxes they have claimed. Tagsy got the side with the are these boxes identical actually? I think they are. There's a bunch of boxes with a torch in the middle. That's a little all they are. One of them looks like it has some weapons in there. Yeah, both of them have weapons. I guess one of them has a battle axe and the other has like swords. At most. What a really good arena they added from back in the day, dude. Such a good arena. Tagsy porting away from Kreisbed, trying to get himself a UA up and running. But looks like Kreisbed is just avoiding even any of the dots getting set up on him. Finally, Tagsy able to get some damage rolling, trying to get a soul rod running too. That's going to be Darkleg extending those dots quite a bit. If Tagsy can somehow shatter these dots so they tick more often, for Kreisbed this could be really bad. It's just going to rot him down. Mortal Call into Tagsy with a bit of a reflect. And I think, is Tagsy playing an intro pit? He is playing intro pit. That thing is just line of sighting completely. Wall up for Kreisbed as he is rotting down. He is melting bit by bit, trying to get some damage back to the pets of Tagsy. Tagsy just needs to maintain these dots. Did Kreisbed meet his end, meet his match? As Tagsy got the crazy amount of damage over time. Trying to go for a UA versus the pet. Interrupt juked out versus Kreisbed. That's going to be a pretty big drain for Tagsy. Tagsy does have an empowered drain because of a talent stable affliction. Or instability, afflicted instability is the one where agony every time it takes, it builds up damage of your drain life. Drain life heals you based on the damage it does. So for affliction warlock, it's actually pretty good as a beanie burst. Kreisbed just, where's that balloon? Wait, did Tagsy sell his pet? Did Tagsy sacrifice his pet? He actually might have sacrificed his pet. Tagsy might be playing the build where I think he actually does play the build where he sacrifices pets. Like he gives the pets and he'll sacrifice them for the extra benefit. Which is actually pretty major for Affliction Warlocks. You kind of need it in order to make any kind of damage happen. Like it just kind of adds an extra dot over to your dots already. Kreisbed going for massive damage. Dark Soul stability activated. Tagsy with a port behind the pillar. Trying to create some distance. Mortal Call as Kreisbed walks at him. Going to be immediate trinket out of Kreisbed as Tagsy trying to see if he can soul shape over. Reflect is up. So is up. So for Kreisbed, it's going to get the fear of Tagsy with a cannonball. Tagsy got a wall. I don't think it's going to be enough though. And Kreisbed does end up claiming the win from that duel. And Tagsy actually had a really good opener. Full dots rolling, rotten. Kreisbed forced a wall out of him while he's just, you know, just rotting to the dots. It was massive amount of damage. I'm surprised he didn't go his direction. I feel like maybe having the pet out and then going for an interrupt and then sacrificing the pet immediately and then doing damage might have been better, right? So basically when you have full burst, sacrifice the pet, do your damage. When you don't have the pet, don't have the burst, maybe have the pet out. I wonder if there's some gameplay for Affliction Warlocks in regards to that. Affliction so wank, dude. I think like Affliction could work, dude, because Tagsy making it look good. Honestly. Board available for Kreisbed as IX. Looking to maybe round the bend around the other side of the of the box. Stunned by Kreisbad. As tags, I think he had to actually trinket out of the succubus CC there, didn't he? I believe he did. I believe he actually did. That should have been the full CC otherwise. Kreisbad with the port. As IX still has those big kill shots ready to go, man. Setting up traps for Kreisbad. Is that a charge trap? Likely, unless it's a knockback trap, is gonna slow him down. Needs to get his pet over versus Kreisbad. Needs to make the dots roll. Grenades are thrown in. Kreisbad might be in a pretty bad spot. Next time he has a succubus CC versus IX, he might be in a decent spot, but Kreisbad is definitely behind in health, trying to go for a bit of a drain life onto the pet. And it's gonna walk up next to IX and with a mortar call. The hunters are pretty squishy, even at this high dampening, and with Kreisbad having low health, Kreisbad could turn this around with how squishy the hunters usually are. Although Kreisbad, the amount of health recovery he's getting with drain life is very, very just abysmally low. Getting a slow into IX, gonna be kill shot, trying to make the biggest damage with the chaos bolt work. Cataclysm after while wall is rolling, trying to see if he can turn this around. Instant cast flying, it's gonna be kill shots versus IX. It's gonna go for Eternal. Just needs one more global versus Kreisbad. Get himself a drain life onto the pet, trying to fear out the pet. IX just needs one more global and it's over. Freezing trap. Trinkets out of it. Does he want to stay there? Just wants to let the pet do damage to IX. Wait, does the pet kill IX behind the pillar? Feign death for a second. If you can just have the pet turn it around. Wait, does the pet come back to succubus? Oh! No way! That's succubus, dude! Succubus OP! Kreisbad with another 1v5! This man is insane! What? He actually got so low in health! This man just doesn't die, dude! Oh my god! What is that?